From a passenger getting secretly blacklisted for removing a $16 daily charge, to a family receiving an empty table setting with a fresh flower every night to honor their late mother, cruise ship crew treat different passengers in wildly different ways. And most cruisers have no idea what separates one group from the other. These are 12 habits that make cruise crew and fellow passengers genuinely love you. Some are obvious, some will surprise you. And number 7 is something roughly 75% of cruisers get completely wrong. But first, you need to understand one thing about the people serving you on cruise ships. Below the passenger decks, there is a corridor running the entire length of the vessel that crew call the I-95. It is how they move around without entering passenger areas. According to industry data, roughly 85% of crew share cabins with 2 to 4 other people in bunk beds. They work 7 days a week with no days off for contracts lasting 4 to 9 months straight. Research from the Milken Institute review found that Filipinos account for nearly 30% of the global cruise workforce. This changes everything about these habits. According to Cruise Critic reporting, tips can comprise up to 95% of some cruise workers' pay. The crew have their own slang. Passengers are called packs. A stingy guest is a cheapatone. And when something will never happen, they say next cruise. But here is the detail that makes this list actually matter. A cruise director confirmed to travel journalists that guests who take 30 seconds to learn a crew member's name are genuinely remembered. The crew talks to each other, and word travels fast on a ship. That's the game. Let's get into the 12 habits that put you on the winning side. Number 12. Leave your cabin in reasonable shape. This might sound basic, but cabin stewards clean 20 to 30 cabins twice daily, and small courtesies compound fast. Give your steward a rough schedule of when you leave and when you will return so they can plan their cleaning route. Use the door sign consistently. Keep clothes in wardrobes, use towels in one spot, and garbage near the bin. One gesture the crew secretly appreciate is offering unused fruit or welcome gifts directly. Cabin stewards cannot take these items unless you offer them, but many appreciate fruit because the fruit available to crew is often overripe. As one cruise blogger put it, being tidy is the most tacitly thankful thing you can do on a cruise. The contrast is passengers who leave cabins completely trashed and then complain that turn-down service took too long. Those guests get the bare minimum for the rest of their voyage. Speaking of shared spaces, number 11. Master elevator etiquette. This sounds ridiculous until you realize it is the single most common friction point on cruise ships. Carnival brand ambassador John Heald posted proposed elevator rules on Facebook, and it generated over 275 comments and 500 likes within 3 hours. That shows how much this resonates with cruisers. The rules are simple. Let people exit before entering. That is the #1 complaint across all cruise forums. Simple logic. If passengers cannot get off, you cannot get on. Take the stairs for 1 or 2 floors. Do not bring food or drinks into elevators. Know your floor before entering. Move to the back when stepping in. And always yield to wheelchair and scooter users who may have been waiting through multiple elevator cycles. Cruise critic expert Carolyn Spencer Brown called the related issue of chair hogging the hottest issue next to bringing alcohol on board. Carnival now has a chair share team that removes unattended belongings after 40 minutes. Fellow passengers absolutely notice who respects shared spaces and who does not. Number 10. Be a buffet pro, not a buffet menace. The buffet is where cruise etiquette goes to die for most passengers. But smart cruisers know the rules. Always wash or sanitize your hands. Crew members are stationed at entrances specifically watching for this. Norovirus spreads fast in enclosed cruise environments, and nobody wants to be patient zero. Always use tongs, never your hands. The points guy warns that using your hands to grab a bread roll will earn you well-deserved glares from everyone nearby. Never move tongs between stations. Cruise critic explains the reason. The person behind you might have a shrimp allergy, and you just moved the tongs from a shrimp dish to a chicken dish. If you touch it, you take it. Get a new plate for seconds rather than reusing, and walk the entire buffet first before picking up a plate so you know what you actually want. Pro tip: Skip the buffet on embarkation day. It is overcrowded chaos. The main dining room is typically open and far less hectic. Number 9. Nail embarkation and debarkation. The muster drill is mandatory under international maritime law. It was tightened after the Costa Concordia disaster in 2012. Most cruise lines now use electronic muster through an app, and completing it promptly matters. According to cruise industry sources, if you fail to attend, you can be forced off the ship without a refund. It is also frustrating for passengers who completed their part to hear constant reminder announcements because others are ignoring the requirement. On embarkation day, do not try to enter your cabin before it is ready or bypass fire doors. A Royal Caribbean blog post explained that you will be getting in the way of crew members who are working hard to prepare rooms, and your room may still be being cleaned. For debarkation, attend the briefing, settle your bill the night before, understand your luggage options, and do not skip the final breakfast. It is included, and the ship will be far less crowded. Number 8. Be the audience every performer dreams of. Cruise entertainment staff deal with unique challenges that most passengers never consider. Put phones away and set them to silent in the theater. The screen light is genuinely distracting in a darkened room, and recording often violates copyright agreements the performers are bound by. Do not walk out mid-performance from front seats. Travel advisor Angel Wilson recommends that if there is any chance you might leave early, sit toward the back. Do not save excessive seats for people who may or may not show up. Participate willingly at interactive shows. One surprising insight from a former Holland America performer named Alyssa: do not buy expensive drinks for crew as a thank you gesture. She said she feels bad accepting a $17 to $20 drink from a guest that would cost her $1.25 in the crew bar. Tip them cash instead. Number 7. Tip wisely with cash on top of auto gratuities. This is where roughly 75% of cruisers either get it wrong or miss the opportunity entirely. Here is the data. In 2025, auto gratuity rates range from $16 to $25 per person per day across major lines. Celebrity Cruises revealed that about 60% of that goes to dining staff, roughly 29% to housekeeping, and the rest to other hotel services. For a family of 4 on a 7-night Royal Caribbean cruise, auto gratuities alone total around $518. Now here is what most passengers do not know. A Tips for Travelers investigation revealed that some crew on some lines are shown the list of passengers who have removed or reduced their auto gratuities. They know exactly who has done it. A survey of over 4,000 cruisers found that roughly 10% admit to removing auto gratuities. Those passengers are getting the bare minimum service for their entire voyage without realizing why. But here is the habit that separates good passengers from great ones. Crew universally prefer cash tips in addition to auto gratuities, not instead of them. One Royal Caribbean crew member explained on Reddit that cash tips, no matter how big or small, help tremendously. Every dollar is something extra they can bring back home to their families. Veteran cruisers recommend bringing $40 to $100 or more in small bills for discretionary cash tips. One popular strategy shared on Reddit is to find a bartender you like, ask which bar they work at and when, then give them $50 right off the bat. Multiple cruisers confirmed you will not wait for a drink for the rest of your voyage. One important warning about gifts. Large gifts can actually get crew in trouble. A crew member explained that alcohol or anything purchased from ship shops could cause problems because crew cannot bring home items without receipts and may be accused of theft. The best non-cash gifts are practical items like laundry detergent, toiletries, sunscreen, or specialty coffee from your home country. If you are finding this helpful, hit subscribe. I cover cruise insights and travel tips every week, and there is plenty more where this came from. Now let us get into the habits that have the biggest impact on how crew remember you. Number 6. Respect the dress code or use alternatives gracefully. Dress codes aren't about snobbery. They set the vibe for onboard dining and ensure comfort for everyone sharing the space. Standards vary dramatically by line. Cunard requires black tie on gala evenings and bans jeans after 6 p.m. Norwegian has no formal nights at all with their freestyle cruising approach. The universal rules across all mainstream lines are simple. No swimwear, flip-flops, tank tops, shorts, or baseball caps in the main dining room at dinner. Cover-ups are required indoors everywhere. One cultural note for Caribbean itineraries that surprises many passengers. Camouflage clothing is illegal in Antigua, Barbados, Grenada, Jamaica, St. Lucia, and Trinidad and Tobago, because it is reserved for military personnel. Here's the grace part. If you don't want to dress up on formal night, simply eat at the buffet instead of the main dining room. It's casual all evening, nobody minds and no friction is created. But showing up to the main dining room in swimwear while others are dressed elegantly makes you the person everyone remembers for the wrong reason. Number 5. Keep the peace on balconies and after hours. Cruise ship walls are thin. Boat construction uses far less insulating material than buildings on land, so sound travels in ways most passengers do not expect. Nearly all cruise lines ban smoking on balconies. Royal Caribbean charges a $250 cleaning fee for violations and may disembark repeat offenders. Some lines have started banning personal Bluetooth speakers on balconies entirely. The unwritten rules are: do not yell between balconies, do not slam balcony doors, turn off balcony lights at night, and never throw anything overboard. Keep your balcony door closed when you are not actively using it, because open doors disrupt the air conditioning system for your entire section. Keep television and music volume low in your cabin, especially after 10 p.m. If noise from neighbors becomes an issue, call guest services rather than confronting people directly. That is what they are there for. Number 4. Handle problems with grace and unlock the crew network. How you handle problems determines whether the crew actively want to help you or simply go through the motions. Etiquette expert Nick Layton offers the right mindset. Things go wrong, your steak might be overcooked, nobody is trying to sabotage your vacation on purpose. If you have an issue, just be polite about it. Lucy from the YouTube channel Cruising as Crew explains why going straight to a manager backfires. The crew would much rather you speak to them first, because they might be able to fix the issue on the spot. Even when the supervisor agrees with the crew member, the crew still gets a dressing down for causing the complaint. But here is the real power of handling problems gracefully. A Tips for Travelers investigation found that the crew are incredibly interconnected, and it is often these informal connections that unlock and make things happen for you. The crew member's roommate, friends, and people they hang out with off-duty could be the very ones to solve your problems. That includes a sold-out show, an excursion you missed, or a broken suitcase. The travel blogger tested this personally. When guest services said the ship could not fix his broken suitcase, his stateroom attendant arranged for a handyman friend to handle it as a favor. Being the passenger who handles problems with grace means being the passenger who gets problems solved through the crew network. Number 3. Leave handwritten thank you notes. In an era of digital everything, this small gesture carries outsized emotional weight with crew members. One Royal Caribbean crew member shared on Reddit that they have received small notes folded into fun shapes from guests, and they still carry them in their wallet to this day. Reading these notes at the end of a long day of work makes all the effort feel worth it. Islands.com noted that in an era of digital disconnectedness, handwritten notes come across as surprisingly sincere. They become mementos that crew keep for years. One framed photo given by a passenger to a crew member became what the crew member called a good luck charm, and they credit it with helping their career take off. A simple note takes 2 minutes to write, and it creates a lasting memory for someone working 7 days a week for months away from their family. Number 2. Fill out post-cruise surveys and name specific crew. This habit has more direct career impact than any cash tip you could give. Most passengers either skip the survey entirely, or they fill it out without naming anyone. A Royal Caribbean crew member revealed what happens when passengers mention their names in surveys. They can earn a day off. They can win a VIC card, which stands for Very Important Crew, with prizes like free internet, cash, or discounts. They can receive rewards like dining at specialty restaurants or staying in a guest cabin. And if mentioned enough times, they can be nominated for Employee of the Month, which comes with a substantial cash prize. A mental floss investigation confirmed this. The very best thing you can do for a crew member is write a glowing review that mentions them specifically on your comment card. For most crew, their salaries are quite low, and they rely on those survey bonuses. One Reddit user shared a smart system. Bring a small notebook where you write down names and jobs of crew who are particularly wonderful, specifically so you can mention them in the post-cruise survey after your brain has turned to mush. Those surveys are not just feedback forms. They are career advancement tools for the people who made your vacation special. Number 1. Learn and use crew members' names. This is the single most impactful habit according to every crew source consulted for this video. A Royal Caribbean crew member wrote on Reddit that a guest remembering them and calling them by their name makes them feel seen and appreciated. Crew work on board without days off, and days can be really long. A simple thank you using their name can make their entire day. Former NCL crew member Sharon Waugh, who now writes about cruising, shared a practical tip. Photograph name badges on the first day so you can remember who to write about in surveys and spell their names correctly. That is often tricky when there are 60 or more nationalities on board. A cruise director confirmed the ripple effect to travel journalists. Guests who take 30 seconds to learn a crew member's name are genuinely remembered. The crew talks to each other, and word travels fast on a ship. Learn your cabin steward's name, your main dining room waiter's name, and your favorite bartender's name. Within days, you will be known across the entire ship as one of the good ones. And being one of the good ones is how moments like these happen. A passenger named Joanne wrote to Carnival ambassador John Heald about a crew member named Baden. Her blind granddaughter Madison wanted to try the obstacle course, and Baden went with her, patiently teaching her every single step. At the end, he gave her a medal. Joanne wrote that Madison has not stopped talking about it since. A bartender noticed an older couple who were incredibly nice and polite, never ordering around but always asking in a calm voice. When he learned it was their anniversary, he put a card on their door with balloons, champagne, and chocolate strawberries. All unprompted. All because they were simply kind. And the story I opened with. A father on his first cruise since losing his wife. A waiter who recognized him from years earlier sat down to talk about the last cruise he had served them on, remembering details with crystal clarity. When he learned the mother had passed, the crew placed a special empty table setting next to the father at every dinner for the rest of the voyage. A flameless candle. A small vase with a fresh flower. They filled her water glass and cleared the extra utensils after every course. The family did not ask for this. They did not pay extra. They did not have elite status. They were simply kind to the crew. A Princess Cruises crew member summarized everything in these 12 habits perfectly. Being nice will get you way further than if you are rude. The crew do not set the prices. They do not sail the ship. They are not paid particularly well, but they work their butts off for every single passenger. These 12 habits are not about gaming the system. They are about recognizing that the people making your vacation magical are living extraordinary lives of sacrifice. Months away from family, working every day without a break, sleeping in shared bunks below the waterline. When you treat them like humans, the grapevine kicks in. Word spreads, and suddenly you are getting the cruise that most passengers do not even know exists. That video on screen goes deeper into cruise secrets that can save you hundreds on your next voyage. If you made it this far, you are exactly the kind of passenger these crews are hoping walks onto their ship next.